What's going on, guys? We are back tonight with another video showcase for you. And I'm actually going to do something a little bit different tonight. I've had a lot of people ask me how I go about building all these decks and kind of my processes and whatnot. So I'm going to go ahead and build a deck on the fly with you guys today so you can see kind of what my thought process is when I'm picking cards and how I go about doing things. And you'll get a better understanding, hopefully. So let me go right now. This is the deck from last time. This deck was pretty sweet. If you guys didn't check this video out, go check it out. Deck was really good. Let's create a new deck. So I'm coming with at least an idea in my head of what I want to do. So that's the best way to build a deck, is have an idea, right? So I do want to show off the new card today. So that is part of the idea. So Hipster, time-traveling Hipster, says when played, if played next to Time Machine, your history of the internet cards in hand gain plus 12 permanent. So nice stats there. So it kind of steers us in a direction, right? That's what we want from this. When you have an idea, you want it to steer you in a direction. So our direction now includes Time Machine and history of the internet cards. So let's go ahead and slot in Time Machine. And Time Machine now pushes us into another direction, right? So we need 9 history and 9 science cards. So that's the direction we need to go now, is history and science, 9-9 split. And obviously we want to prioritize history of the internet cards. So let's go take a look at history of internet, see if we can come up with any other ideas here. So that is my baseline I wanted to start at. So what is good? We know we have a high energy week, so we can get away with some high, heavy hitting cards. So first card that catches my eye is Dark Web. We know Dark Web's a heavy hitter, good in high energy weak decks, given more permanent power. So you can see this card when played. Each of your opponent's deck with base power 60 or more, you get that plus 3 perm up to maximum of 5 cards. So you can get potentially plus 15 perm power on your cards with 60 or more. So that now pushes us in another direction. We do want to have cards that are 60 or more base power. And we want heavy hitting cards. So another card that comes right to my mind for heavy hitting decks, we're going to take a quick jump over to history. Now this card itself is not a big card by any means. It's a 5 energy card, but it does want to play into those big cards, right? So this is basically building a shell here of how I want my deck to function. So you can see we've got Dark Web trigger, we've got Time Machine trigger, we've got Time Traveling Hipster. So this is kind of the shell of the deck here, getting the permanent power buffs, kind of utilizing Time Machine in place of like a Statue of Liberty. We've got our permanent buffs from Dark Web and our until played buffs from Nustra. So we do want to now check out cards that are 8 or more costing for Nustra there. And obviously we need to sort by. Let's check out history of internet. I'm curious if they've got any other big hitters I didn't really notice except for Dark Web. All right, so right off the bat, I do see a couple. We've got World Wide Web, and it does buff history of internet, so that feels like an automatic inclusion. And we've got Whamageddon here. It says, when drawn, if your deck contains a card with heart in the name, you get 75 this turn. So let's go ahead and slot it in, which means we now have to include heart, or a card with heart in the name. So let's go ahead and kill those and slot in a card with heart. So we've got 2 options here for science. We've got heart itself. We're not really doing Brilliant Human Body, though, so I don't think we need that. And it's a start card. I don't know if I want to hold that. So let's go Artificial Heart, because we can, a little extra energy probably wouldn't hurt this deck. We are a pretty big, heavy hitter. All right, what else do we want to do? Let's see, what other history of internet cards were decent? Let me see here. Oh, I did want to include Dial-Up. I think this is a neat one. So at the start of each, for every completed round this game, your history of internet cards in hand gain plus 5 until played. So that could be our hold card. And okay, I don't see a whole lot else there I want to mess with. That's a couple history of internet cards. We don't need to necessarily go too crazy with it. What's the deck looking like? Okay, we got quite a few. Let me filter history cards now that are 8 costed. I want to see what other options we have for history here that are solid. Because we're trying to play into both Dark Web and Nustra here. So we've got Night Attack, could be an option. It doesn't get hit by the Dark Web, though. This deck is going to be pretty, especially with Nustra, it's going to be pretty mana intensive or energy intensive. There's a Bonnie and Clyde, all cards. That's pretty good. I like this one. Your opponent's hand lose 4 permanent. Let's go ahead and slot it. Identity Theft, super strong. Feels like an auto include. Joan of Arc, random card in your hand gains plus 55. Yes, please. What else do we see? Okay, that might be it for our 8 slots. Don't want to add too many either, just in case. Like I said, I think our energy could be definitely a factor. So let's go ahead and slot El Dorado. It does get the buff from Dark Web, which is nice. What else are we thinking? Let me type in, see if there's any other cards that buff History of Internet specifically. Okay, we've got, if it's the last turn of a round, your History of Internet cards gain plus 14 until played. We've got Floppy Disk. Your History of Internet cards and hand gain plus, ooh, that's good because we are going to be holding dial-up. And then when returned, your History of Internet, wherever they are, get another plus 16 until played buff. And it's an 8-drop, so it's going to get hit by both Dark Web and Nustra. So I think we add that. That's kind of cool. A little Floppy Disk. We've got 3, 6, 7, 8 science cards. Well, you guys know my motto. If Jet Car ain't in the deck, you add it because this card is busted. So we add Jet Car. I think that rounds out our science. We did say high energy week, so I'm wondering if I can get away now because I added El Dorado. If I can get away with a Testudo. Oh, it's going to be super tight though, man. I mean, we could definitely have trouble with it. So now I'm kind of just filling in with good cards here. We are history and science, so my mind goes right away to library. I think this card is an auto include. Your history and science cards in hand gain plus 38 this turn. Yes, please. 2 slots left, and they have to be history. Let's see. We could do so. Like, obviously, Door to Hell we don't have in this deck, but we could add something similar, like a Ponzi. Your cards gain basically plus 40 until played, so that's pretty good. And we need one more. What else? History cards. Let's do Legendary Epic. And filter history. Wendigo, but our energy already kind of cutting it, I think. We might be struggling. We've got Night Attack as an option, but it's another 8-drop. It's risky. What else? Iron Maiden, that's not a bad option. We could need that energy. Because I'm going energy crazy. We've got Shinigami's an option. So you definitely got options now as you're filling the deck in. Andronicus, that's kind of nice. Maybe we just do that. I do like that card. Yeah. I think I'm just going to go Andronicus. It's a 7-drop. It does miss. Did Iron Maiden hit? Let me see again. It's not 60, is it? It is 60. So maybe Iron Maiden's the play. Do we think we'll need Andronicus? We've got Ponzi. Yeah. Don't know that we will. Could also cut like a Joan of Arc and just add Andronicus. Maybe that's better. But it is an 8-drop. 93 power. Bonnie and Clyde. Yeah, this might be good right here. I think we try this. All right, let's call it Time Traveler. And I didn't spell that right. That's what happens when you're an engineer. You can't spell. Yep. All right. Boom. Let's check out the deck code for you guys if you're interested in trying it out with me. 1ZVB4N. All right, here we go. Let's go test her out. Probably just going to do one game with it since it is kind of a longer video in the beginning now because we went build deck on fly and hope for the best. But yeah, for those of you that did follow my last video, I kind of mentioned to you that I had an appointment coming up for my son, neurological exam basically, where they tell me, what's going on with him. He's kind of showing signs of ADHD and ADD, autism stuff. So we went and took him in, got him checked out, and it was pretty interesting, man. This guy, it's like a guy who deals with these kids, and it's basically, how do I explain it? Basically, super smart guy, man. We were just completely blown away by the knowledge this guy had of this whole thing. It almost felt like a new age, like kind of like a quack doctor kind of feel to it. He was basically doing all these crazy like reflex tests, they're called. Like he'd come over with a mallet and he'd like smack my son on the arm and see if it moved. And basically the reflexes are what he's saying is causing it. Like, so I kind of get down the rabbit hole here, but just so you guys understand a little bit more detail here, our bodies are at birth given primitive reflexes, essentially they call them, right out the gate. In your brainstem, you have, as a child, primitive reflexes. So basically a child will be able to be birthed out the womb. His hips will naturally be moving, when his back is like stroked or something or tickled in the womb. It helps him kind of situate and get moving in the right spot. They have like a fight or flight reflex for if they're startled, they'll curl up in like a ball or something like that. There's like a bunch of different ones you guys can look up, but they're called primitive reflexes. Really interesting. But you're supposed to, as a child, at like 1 year old, you're supposed to lose these reflexes essentially, and you don't have them anymore. So if you do, you have an issue, and that apparently these issues cause ADD, ADHD, and a bunch of other stuff in these children, which I thought was really interesting. I didn't know that was a thing. So we learned something. We learned a lot from this visit with this guy, but it's very tough to regurgitate back just because obviously I'm not a specialist or a doctor in this kind of stuff. So it's definitely difficult to understand, but the idea is that you do exercises that repetitive motions and stuff with these children. So like my son, he has him doing an exercise where you spin. So we put him in a chair and we spin him in a circle, and he holds like a laser, and he has to focus on the laser, the dot on the wall as he's spinning. And it's weird, like there's different, like if he's like weak in the right hemisphere of the brain, you spin him to the left. If he's weak in the left hemisphere, you spin him to the right. And we didn't even know that this was a thing. And what's interesting is our son was naturally already spinning, and we kept stopping him from doing it. But this whole time, he had already been spinning to the left, like something was guiding him, telling him, hey, this is what you need to do to fix yourself. And he was already doing it before we even went to the visit. And it just blew my mind. I told the doctor he'd been spinning like nonstop lately. I mean, my son was literally spinning for like 5 minutes straight and seeming to not get dizzy at all. He would stop spinning like nothing happened. Like, a normal person would like look like they're about to fall down. Not my son. I swear he could spin for 20 minutes and then be completely fine. It was like mind-blowing to me. It was kind of freaking me out a little bit. So I had mentioned that to the doctor, and he's like, oh, well, that's one of the things we're going to be doing. We're going to be spinning. And I'm like, what? Like, this is so crazy. But essentially, kind of the idea is as you develop these repetitive motions and you train yourself, you build what's called neurological pathways in the brain, almost like you're rerouting or relearning these reflexes. So you have like what's called higher conscious reflexes. So it was super crazy. Like as you lose your primitive reflexes, you develop higher power or higher conscious reflexes that change all this stuff. So it's super neat, man. We just my mind is completely blown right now. Ooh, we got a little combo. Sorry, I know I'm chatting a lot. It was just so interesting, and now it's like my mind, like I said, my mind's completely blown by this this doctor visit. Figured I'd share some of it with you guys at least. Did we just get worked? I think we did just get worked. Egypt, man. Ugh. I hate you. Why you do this to me? Well, we might have just built a poopy deck, guys. You know, I hate to say it. Who knows? Well, this is what I do. This is my process. We go through, we get an idea, and we just kind of expand on it and see what we come up with as we go. It's pretty neat. Dial-Up almost acts like a hold card here, too, for late game, because it's going to be buffing itself, and it's taking other buffs the whole game as well from other stuff, so kind of neat. We just could just kind of hold that card. Let it stack up crazy. We're still holding Artificial Heart, too. Ooh, it's a big turn. This is what I was saying about the energy. I knew we were going to be putting down insane energy. Or our cards were going to be super expensive. We got a 14 costed card there with 2 9s. It's nutty. Gotta risk it for the biscuit, though, guys. Sometimes you gotta just go a little crazy. All right, we're still behind, though, man. Even after those crazy turns. It's kind of nutty. Did we get him? Gonna be close. Yep, I think we got him. All right. We're sticking it to Egypt. I'd like to see that. Boy, are we spending some energy. Oh, man. All right, we got Jet Car. Nice. Let's go ahead and get it down, along with Identity Theft. It's going to be a good turn here. Probably 700 power, maybe. Maybe not that much. Ah, pretty close. That was a big turn for him, too. Woo. We were holding in there. Give him the eyeballs. What you gonna do, bud? What you gonna do? Bad boys, bad boys. All right, do we do Dial-Up here? Because we want to hold Time Machine, right, for next turn? Which we might not even play Time Machine, because if this is the last turn of the game, next turn, don't know that we need it. Ooh, it was a good turn for him. Ooh, I don't know if this is last turn. He might actually get us here. So I think we do go Time Machine. And what's that? 400. This is 340. Man, I don't know if that's going to be enough. We're going to try it, though. No, he got us. All right, we got one more round, though. That's why I wanted to play that hipster there, just in case. I didn't think we were getting it. All right, we do have our Testudo, though. That's nice. No, let's do it like this. All right, not the best first turn out the gate, but hopefully Testudo can catch us back up. This is a close one. That Egypt deck, man, that thing smacks. I see why it's a top-tier deck. Man, we're already starting down quite a bit here. It's going to be a tough one to beat. Ooh, did that catch us back up? Ooh. Man, this is going to be down to the last turn. Holy moly. We're drawing Jet Car, we know. I think we're drawing... Oh, we just drew the Whamageddon, so that was the 2 I thought. Ooh, Identity Theft. Nice. Okay. So... Is that the play? I think that's the play. All right. Let's see if we got it. Oh, I think we got it. Maybe. Maybe? Good game. Woo! That was intense. Smacked an Egypt deck on the fly, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so let me know in the comments what you thought. That was cool, man. I like the build deck on the fly thing. That was cool. I really didn't think we'd build something that good, but turned out pretty good. I like that hipster. He wasn't too shabby. Let me know what you guys thought. And as always, thanks for watching. Have a good night.